So today what do we do is we'll discuss about the more of the architectural part, like we were discussing about the application module, these all things, right? Like I will show you exactly which top liquids, which top, which module, all those kind of things, and the application server again, and the database, some sort of tables. And we also need to understand, like, do you know how do you create a user responsibility menu and all these kind of things, or do you know that?
Okay. Yes, I do listen about the class.
Mm-hmm.
I do know, but I am not particular about that.
Okay,
But I do have a recorded session for that. If you want me to listen, I can.
no problem. So as you know that Oracle e-business suite is a three-tier architecture, okay?
Yes.
And now we have front end, middle
Middle,
and back end.
backend,
Okay. So back end is nothing but our database. Middle
database,
tier is nothing but all application
application
servers
server.
like Apache, report server,
Yes.
all the things, form server, workflow engine, lot number of things.
Okay.
And coming to front end, we have Oracle forms and OAF pages.
Yes.
These are the two interfaces. Now,
Yes.
before this, like, what does an eBiz, like, we also call it as eBiz, right? eBiz or eBusiness instance, something like that, with the different names.
Yes.
So what does exactly this contain? It's nothing but a software which will contain a set of modules. Okay.
On.
So generally, in technical terms, when you open any of the Oracle form, you never see anywhere something called module. Okay. So
Okay.
module is nothing but interchangeably, it is nothing but application. This first thing you have to
Okay.
understand. Module is nothing but
Okay.
application from the Oracle perspective. So like let us say if you open application developer responsibility, so I'll just go to here, application developer, and you click on application. And do you see any applications? Yeah. So can you see it?
Yes.
So it shows the list of applications which are registered here,
Okay.
right? So now what we have to understand is generally, like before getting into more, so generally like developers from other background or maybe who never had any experience in the e-business suite or ERP application, what they know is that they may know the terms called SEM, HCM, right?
Okay.
Or projects, value chain planning, VCP or CRM, these kind of things. But from the Oracle business from Oracle eBusiness, if you observe, like last time also I told you that you will not have anything called supply chain management or financials kind of thing. Okay, you'll not
Yes.
have anything. You will not have any information like that. What exactly it is like these are the base products. Generally, they'll consider this as a product. These particular products
Okay.
will have a set of modules. So now let us say if you consider our financial one, so financial will have AP,
Mhm.
AR, FA,
Mhm.
GL, CM, right? So for each
Yes.
particular these components, Oracle will register them as an application. So nothing but what I'm saying is you will see payables, you'll see receivables module, you'll see fixed assets module, and you'll also see general ledger
Ledger.
and cash management. So now each particular module will have its own top generally. Now payables will have
Okay.
AP, receivables have
AP.
AR, fixed assets will have FA, GL, CM kind of thing.
Okay.
Now let's search these things. So right, payable belongs to short name SQL AP and the base path is AP underscore top, right?
Okay.
And if you see
Yes.
receivables, right, it is AR,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
General ledger is GL. Okay. Now cash management, it is CE. It is not CM, it
Okay.
is CE.
See.
Okay. So
Okay.
the the normal theoretical module will not have any registration in the Oracle ERP, but the technical module, I mean to say like the sub modules generally, the sub modules will be registered as a application in the Oracle ERP. So these are called
Okay.
applications, but we can call it as module or application, doesn't matter. But generally in the Oracle, it will call as application. So wherever you see application as a LOB or text, it means that this is what it means, the module.
Okay.
So corresponding to this particular module information or application information, we have two tables, like FND application and FND application TL. So
Okay.
let us see them. So the first table, FND application. So this will have the total applications which are registered in our ERP. Generally, by default, all application will come into picture, but in real time, the license of
Okay.
Oracle ERP depends upon the module which you want to install as well as the number of users.
Okay.
It is not a full package kind of software because Oracle will not give
Oh,
all the modules for your Oracle ERP by default. It is according to the license of
oh,
the license for which module you want to purchase.
okay.
Let us say some customers will have only financial related stuff, and because they want to maintain all the other things in other tools, they just want to use ERP
Oh,
only for the financial purpose. So our client uses only SCM and financials. He doesn't use any other module at all.
okay.
So that's how it will be. Even I have seen customers who use only financial modules. They does not even use any SCM module or any HRMS module at all.
Okay.
That's how it will be. Okay. So
Okay.
now coming here, this is one of the very much important table, FND application. So one more thing you have to understand is any table, any object, you consider any object in the Oracle ERP, there will be some linkage to the what you say, some naming convention. So now here FND application, so FND nothing but foundation module. FND stands for
Okay.
foundation module.
Oh,
Any table start with FND belongs to foundation module. Nothing but
okay.
AOL, application object library.
Okay.
So where, or sorry, order by, okay. Now this is our FND model. Application ID 0 belongs to FND. And if you want to know the application name, what you can do is you can just need to join it. So by default, you don't have the information here. So I can try to do like this, FND application underscore TL FAT, where 1 is equal to 1 and FA dot application. I'm just doing a equi join.
Okay.
Right?
That application.
Yeah, so we can get FA dot application ID, FA dot application short name, FA dot base underscore path, FA dot product underscore code. Okay.
It's just base path there.
Yeah, base. Sorry. Okay. Uh, FND application. Sorry again. Okay. Now just
Okay.
now this is my application ID. This is my application short name, and this is my base path. So here, if you observe, generally most of the time application short name and product code will be same. But here, if you see,
Okay.
it is different. It is RG. It
RGL.
is GL. Okay. So
GL.
so product code is the thing which you have to consider. Application short name, it is used in some places, but generally, if you see any of the object naming convention, it will be product code. So any table
Okay.
FND, GL, FA, right?
Okay.
Now other thing is like this is our application name. This is our application name.
Oh,
Application object library will have a top location. This is a top location. FND underscore top, AU top, right? So GL
GL
top,
top. Oh,
like this. So each particular, whenever you have a base path, that base path belongs to a particular location in your server. It can be Unix or Windows. Generally, this base path will refer to a particular location in your Unix server. So while installation, these all environment variables will be like synchronized according to your installation.
okay.
So these are all environment variables actually. So like when you open a WinSCP or a putty, what we have done, like we have just seen the value of FND top, right? So it is pointing to a particular location in our server.
Okay.
Okay, but here you will not find any information about the location. Let us say if you want to know exactly what is the path of your particular CE top, you cannot find that information here. That this is available only from your box server.
Okay.
So now let us say I'll open the WinSCP. Now I'll just connect to the server. I'll open putty, Apple Manager. Okay, let me increase the font. So here if you observe, the present login user which I logged in is Apple Manager APPL. Now if you try
Okay.
to just use echo fnd underscore top, it simply prints the location. But in real time,
Oh,
this may not print actual the stuff. It may not print the information directly. There will be some security settings. So what we generally do is,
oh,
there are some set of files, we call it as env files, environment files, .env files.
okay.
So first of all, we have to execute this particular files, execute these env files, okay, to get the permission, okay, and then we have to execute the fnd top, these kind of things. Generally, let us say when you
Oh,
in your normal environment, when you just type echo fnd top, and if it is not printing anything, it means that you don't have permission. That's it.
oh, okay.
So generally, DBS has to provide you where are the env files located. So in our case, if you observe APPL, so generally the env files will be available in the application tab. So first of all, what you do is you log into your putty, navigate to the location which your DBA provides. Nothing but mostly it will be Apple top only, application tab. But your
Oh,
environment variables will not work until unless we execute the
oh,
env files. So here in this
okay.
location, we'll have two env files. Can you see apps VIS as well as VIGLO? So we just need to execute
Okay.
these two env files like this, dot followed by your file name. Once you execute this
Okay.
one, after that you can just try fnd top. It has to print.
Okay. First,
Okay?
now we need to execute the .env files.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because in our training instance, it works without even executing the env file, but in normal real-time environment, it will not work. You have to execute the env files, and also you have to ask the DBA, because sometimes what may happen is you may have lot number of env files, but we have to check out the appropriate env file there. Mostly they will not keep
Okay.
any junk file there, but in the worst case.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
once you
Great.
set the env files, it will give you the you'll have a permission to check out the top locations. And other thing is, let us say, just see, observe this one also. You just type set, okay, and you can see
Okay.
all the top locations, all the environment variables, I mean to say
Okay.
here. Like, can you see SSH connection, and here XDO top, WSM top, VIP top here,
Yes.
right? All the things are pointing to, if you observe till this part, till Apple top, it is same. Till the Apple top, it is same. Just you will have a module after Apple top, and then 12.0.0, because it's 12.1.3
Okay.
version,
Okay.
right? Clear?
Okay. Clear.
Yeah. So now, and if you observe like any module, like once you go to this particular Apple top, once you go to any module, let us say I'll go to GL. So you'll have a folder with based on a version 11.5.10, 12.0.0 or 12.20. Okay. And once you open
Okay.
that one, it will have these set of folders. This will be common in all the all the modules. Even if you open any of the FA, or maybe if you open receivables, you'll have the same set of modules. But the components inside that will be different, right? Like the report for FA is different, the report for GL will be different,
Yes.
right? So now if you observe here, we have a folder called reports. So in the reports, again, you'll have a language. So now let us see if a client has installed multiple languages, you'll see multiple folders. So in my case,
Yes.
our client has installed 4 languages. We have 4 folders. One is US, other is like Mexico, other one is um, Chinese, and other one is Japanese. So we have 4 folders
Okay.
like that. Okay. So whenever we
Okay.
develop any report, if you have a client working on multiple locations, you have to move the report. We have to move the same report to 4 locations. Okay. Anyway, we'll discuss that later. But so this is a place where you'll find,
Then,
like, whenever you want to see any seeded report, what you can do is you just need to go to the appropriate report, and from there you can get the source code.
okay.
Okay. For reports, we have the source code by default. Reports and forms will get the source code, and even workflow also will get the source code. Source code will not be available for the OF pages. That's the only problem. For the OF pages, you
Only
cannot.
for OEM.
Yes, only OF pages. Remaining, and public APIs also you can get it, but private APIs you may not get the source code coming from the PL SQL stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now here, so as of now, we just seen these modules, and we know exactly what module, what is the top location. Now, other thing what you have to understand is, so here each module, as I said you, Let us consider GL, general ledger. Now if you see general ledger, we know the product top is GL, right?
Yes.
GL is a product code. Now, so what does the general ledger module will contain? It will contain all RiseW, F plus OAF components plus database objects, right? Now,
Yes.
for each module, you'll have a schema. Do you know what is schema?
No.
So, in database terminology, schema is nothing but a user. So now here,
Okay.
with which user I have logged in?
Apps.
Apps is a user which I've used, right? Now,
Yes.
observe here, this is one is very much important again. Select start from GL underscore ledgers. So GL belongs to GL module, right?
Yes.
Now, but with which user I have logged in? Apps.
Apps.
Apps is a user, but how does apps has access to GL module? So that you have to understand,
Oh, okay.
right? So now let us have clarity on this one. So just now what we discussed, like each module will have its own schema also. So now observe this first. So what is a schema? Schema is a user list of users in the database. The way you like a binary, like if you consider your desktop will have a system administration, guest user, or your current user, right?
Yes.
Or even consider server. Server will have a list of users, right? Which will someone
Yes.
will have a root access, someone will have a non-root access, someone is just a guest user kind of thing. Now, first of all, if you want to see the list of users in the database, what we do? Select start from all underscore users. This is a
Okay.
table, and this is generally we call it as metadata tables. Why? Because it will have meta information.
Okay.
Okay. Now here, if you see, just see where user name is equal to GL. Got it?
Yes.
So every module will have a schema. Every module. Now
Okay.
observe here. Now select start from all underscore objects where object underscore name is equal to GL underscore ledgers. You will see multiple records now. Now, so who is the owner for table? Object type is table, and who is the owner? GL.
GL.
Now, but here we have a synonym in apps. Who is the owner? Apps.
Apps.
The object name is same. You have a synonym in the app schema. So for
Okay.
every object, so as we know that every module will have its own set of database table, database objects. For each database object which is available in other modules, you will have a synonym in the app schema.
Okay.
So apps user can access any object of any module. Now let us say,
Okay.
I'll tell you one example. Select start from PO headers all. PO is nothing but purchase order.
Okay.
I can see the data, but now observe here. Again, we'll try to see this one. PO headers all. You got multiple records. So PO for
Yes.
PO headers all, the table, observe this object type. Table is available in the PO schema, and leave about this Biffin. I'm not sure what exactly Biffin is. And you have a
Okay.
synonym in the app schema.
Apps.
So that's how it is.
Okay.
And one more thing. So again, like each module will have a naming convention. If you see PO, PO belongs to purchase order,
Purchase orders.
right? So you have a product code column. From there, you can easily identify, okay, which module it belongs to, isn't it?
Okay. Yes.
And we also need to know these all metadata tables. Like we have all underscore users, all underscore objects, all underscore source. These all things you have to know it. All underscore views. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yes.
yeah, that's all. So now other thing is like here reports we have seen where exactly they are located, and forms. If you want to see the source code of any of the form, let us say I'll just open one form. Let us say you want to see general ledger form. new journal. Now, once you open your Oracle form, what you do is, let us say you are doing some particular work and you want to know the source code of this particular form. What you can do is you just click on help and click on about. Now it will tell you what is a form name, FMB.
Okay.
So here, just scroll down, scroll down. Yeah, can you see? It says form path is equal to this one, right?
Yes.
Okay, make a note of this one. Now here, the form name is glxjeent.fmx. FMX is executable code. It's not a source code.
Okay.
Form executable code. But we require form binary, nothing but we require FMB
Okay.
because we want to
Fine.
see the source code, right? So what you can do is
Yes.
you just simply need to find out this particular form in the AU top. So
Okay.
in the AU top, now this particular location is GL top, right? This is it is showing GL, so it is GL top.
Yes.
So what you have to do is the same location, exactly the same thing. What you do is instead of FND, sorry, instead of GL, you just mention AU.
Yeah.
That's it. So this belongs to AU top. So I'll just go here, same location. You'll see all FMBs in the AU top only. Executables will be there in the respective tops, but form binary, nothing but form source code will be available only in the AU top. So now GLXJEENT, right?
Okay.
GLXJEENT, FMB.
Okay.
Clear? Got it?
Okay. Yes.
Now coming
I
to
got
other
the
one.
band report.
Yeah. So coming to other one, interfaces and conversion, there is nothing, right? Interface is nothing but we have to design it. Oracle on its own will provide some set of open interfaces or public APIs that you can easily available in the database. If it's a PL SQL, that will be available in database, right? And there are some set of
Yes.
programs which you will not even see where exactly they are.
Okay.
So we have to ignore as
So
of
how
now.
we?
Yeah, they're not
Okay.
required. Like you will have some complicated coding which are based on the .C language. That they're quite
Okay.
different. Yeah. So there are a lot
Okay.
number of
Okay.
other programming languages which will be used in the Oracle e-business suite, but from client perspective, we will never use those particular logics. Of course, internally
Okay.
Oracle uses, but we does not need to design them in those particular languages. Okay.
Okay.
So now other thing is like forms we have seen, reports we have seen. Now other thing what we'll do is like let us database we have seen like nothing but what objects we have it, right? Now
Yes.
interfaces and conversion, it's a PL SQL, we can ignore that. Now coming to other thing is, we'll just see OAF first. So in the OAF,
Mm.
so it is quite different here. So in the OAF, let us say if you want to see any of the file, so as I said you'll not have any source code, but there should be some place where exactly your files will be there, right? Even you don't have source
Yes.
code, compiled code should be there. So that compiled code
Yes.
will be available in the Java top. So Java top,
Java top.
yeah. So
So we are implementing the OF using Java.
yeah,
So
yeah. OAF framework is a pure Java based framework.
okay.
So now we have to go to this folder, common Java classes. So this is a place where you'll find all OAF related class files. So one example I can tell you is, let us say if you see here, click on just about this page.
Okay.
So what is a path? Oracle Apps FND Framework Navigate, right? So I'll just go here, Oracle Apps FND Framework Navigate, right?
Wait.
Web UI. These are the files,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
You can see that information also. Here it shows OA new homepage SEO, right? It has to be there here. OA new homepage SEO,
Yes.
right? So this is a place where you can see the compiled code of a OA framework.
Okay.
So in the OAF actually there are two types of files. One is pages. So pages and regions, these will get stored in the MDS, nothing but database, and all other files will get stored in the Java top.
Pages and
Regions, region.
regions.
So this will get stored
RGO.
in these two components will get stored in the database, nothing but we call it as metadata service, and other files will
Okay.
get stored in the Java top. So if you see there are some set of tables which start with JDR, they belong to OAF.
Okay.
These are all OAF stuff.
Okay.
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 Now other one is like a workflow. So workflow, even workflow source code you'll not find in application server. Workflow information will get stored in database. There are some set of tables for workflow, like workflow attributes, workflow item types, all these kind of things. Any table which starts with WF, that belongs to workflow.
Okay.
Can you see items? But let us say if you want to see some standard workflow, how do you know that? Now let us say this is a place where you can find out the list of workflows which are there in the system, but how do you get the source code of a workflow? For OAF, you cannot get the source code. By any way you cannot get it. So
Okay.
the only option for OAF is you just get the class file and you
Class
have
file.
some decoders and compile it, decompile it, so you'll get the Java source code. That's how we can do it. And
Okay.
for the workflow, if you want to get the source code, what you can do is first of all find out your workflow name. Okay, let us say I would like to open this expenses workflow. I
Okay.
want to open expensive workflow. What I can do is open a workflow developer, okay, and now click on file, click on open, and I have a database. I mentioned database information. Generally takes some time, but in our case it's quite fast. So I'll just say expenses, just mention the name, expense, right?
Okay.
That's it. This is how I can get the source code of a workflow.
Okay.
And you can see this information properties. Can you see AZNE 3000? Sorry, no, it is not right. Expenses, sorry, it is expenses, not expense. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, so this is the one, right? Expenses, right? APEXP,
XP.
APEXP. Okay,
XP. Yes.
this is source code. Now we can check out the process. You can check out lot number of things.
Okay.
Workflow is quite complicated. The easier things in the Oracle e-business suite are reports and interfaces, and OAF pages if you are interested in Java. Okay, but workflow is generally a complicated one.
Oh.
Yeah. So where are we now? Yeah, we have seen reports, forms, database, OAF pages, workflow. And of course, for workflow, to get a source code, there are again some set of tools like WF load is also there. A lot number of ways we can get it, okay? But we'll discuss that particular thing sometime later.
Okay.
And architectural level, and so apps is a user who can have access to any other object of any other module, because you have a synonym in the apps. That's the only reason. And why Oracle has
Okay.
provided synonym? Because like generally when you get a requirement, you may get so it, as you know that it is RDBMS, right? So you always have a
Yes.
link between one table to another table. Now assume that
Yes.
you want to design a PO details report. So in the PO, it will have the information about your purchase order. It require your operating unit information. It require currency information. It require item information which belongs to inventory. It require code combination again which belongs to some set of GL information, right? So always
Yes.
you have a dependency between modules. So that's the reason, or what Oracle has done is they provided apps, so you can just design a simple single. I mean, you just can connect to a single user, and there you can design your query. That's the reason.
Okay.
Yeah. So coming to other thing, like let us say if you want to create a user or all these kind of things, what you can do is, so as a developer, we always require two responsibilities generally: application developer and system administrator. These two
Okay.
responsibilities. So from system administrator, what you can do is we can create a user and we can create a responsibility also. So creation of a user and responsibility is not available in the application developer. It will be available only from system administration. And here you can just create a function, and you can also create a menu. These two things you can create from here. Menu and function you can also create from the system administrator, but we have flexibility in the application developer also.
Okay.
Okay. And creation of these particular menu function is all the things are part of your F&E module only, because the foundation module. This does not belong to any
Okay.
real-time data or real-time logic of your customer, right?
Yes.
So now let us say system administrator. Now I'll just create a user here. So security, define user and define. This is a place where we use it to create a user. System administrator, security, user and define. So here now I'll just mention, I'll just say Oracle 123, Oracle 123. This is my password. That's it. Just save it. Right. So once you save it, where exactly it should store? It should store in database, right? The table name is
Yes.
this one. Right?
Yes.
You just got created just now. And who created it? 1318. Last updated by is 1318. So 1318 is nothing but operation user.
Okay.
Okay. One more thing, every database table or generally any database object in the Oracle ERP, you'll have a who columns, WHO columns, we call it as who columns.
Okay.
There are total 5 columns. It clearly tells you who created it, when it was created, and when it was updated, and who updated it and when it was updated. Can you see? Last update date, last updated by, creation date, created by, last update login.
Okay.
These are the 5 things will be there in most of the tables.
Okay. Clear.
Okay. Now let us say if you want to see, as of now I have not assigned any responsibility to this user. Let us say I will assign 2 responsibilities: application developer and system administrator. Right.
So this is how a user can get an access to
Right. This is where they
some.
control it. Yes. This is where they control it. Now, so if you want to know the table name where I can find out list of responsibilities which are assigned to my user, just see here, help, record history, you can see the table name. This is the table name in which you'll have the information. Because we
Okay.
cannot remember all the table names, right? Sometimes you just need to, very difficult to find out all the table names. So this other way we can get the list of table names.
Okay.
So just click on help, record history, it will give you the table name.
Okay.
This one. Now here in this one, what we require, where user underscore ID. So what is our user ID? This is our user ID. So now it has to give 2 records, right?
Okay.
Because we have access to only 2 responsibilities.
Yes.
So it doesn't show responsibility name because it generally in RDBMS you don't want to repeat the same data, right? You just
Yes.
need to store the foreign keys in your table. That's it. And if you
Okay.
want to get the information, let us say if you want to find out the responsibility name, what you can do, you can just go to a table called responsibility underscore TL, and where responsibility underscore ID in these 2 things.
02042.
This is how you can get it. Application developer and system administrator.
Okay.
And another thing is menu, right? So now let us say you does not need to assign in menu again, because when you assign a responsibility, automatically all the list of menus which are there will come to your user.
Okay.
There is no option to
Okay.
assign a menu to your user directly. It is always through responsibility
Okay.
only you have to assign. Okay. Now what we
Okay.
do is we'll just create one menu and we'll create one responsibility and we'll assign to this user. So see the
Okay.
hierarchy, if you remember the hierarchy, what is the hierarchy? Like you will have a user, you'll have a responsibility will have a menu will have a function.
Yeah.
So to
Function.
create a responsibility, I have to have a menu. To have a menu, I have to have a function.
Okay.
So I have to go from down to top. So first of all, I have to have a
Okay.
function. So function, I don't want to create right now because we already have lot number of functions. So later on, we'll see how to create a function. Now what we do is we want to create a menu. So menu you can create from either system administrator or from the application developer. And sometimes
Okay.
what may happen is we may not know the navigation, right? We generally forget it, or it depends. So what you can do, just press Control L
Control L.
and just type menu. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'll just say XXCV. I'll just mention this name. This is my menu name. So I'll just here I have to mention the prompt first function.
Okay.
I'll just link to any of the existing function. Okay.
Okay. So here we use a shortcut for what finding. Here also the same controller or the
No,
F5.
no, there's no shortcut for this. Just need to type it manually.
Type it. Okay.
Yeah. Type it and just perform a tab out. It will open this one. So
Okay.
let us say, yeah, I'll just click on item details page. It's one of the wave page. Okay.
Okay.
And emp page. Okay. Form function. Right. So I have assigned two functions to this particular menu.
Okay.
And if you want to find out the menu information, what you can do? So we have again tables, fnd menus, where menu underscore name is equal to xxcv underscore, right?
Okay.
Where menu underscore name, is it saved it?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yep, it got saved. Okay.
Okay.
Now this is menus table, and but you have two entries, right? So this will be another table. So that is a different table. Record is if you see, it is fnd menu entries. Okay.
Okay.
Header and lines, right? Fnd menu entries and
VL.
VL nothing but a view link, so it's not required.
Okay.
Where menu ID. Okay, we'll have two records here. And here, if you see here, it is not showing your function name, right? You'll just see, if you see here, it just shows function ID. Can you see,
Oh, yes.
right? If you assign a
Yes.
submenu, it will show submenu. If you want to assign submenu, it will show, it will have a submenu ID. If you're assigning a function, it will have a function ID.
Okay.
Now, if you want to know the function names, again, we have to go to another table called fnd functions.
Start from the functions. Here one.
fnd, not fnd form functions. Okay.
So by practicing, we need to remember all the table names. The more.
These table names is only for understanding. Generally, like in real time, you may not require all these table names, but because to have a hands-on, to have an understanding of your architecture, you have to know
Okay.
these tables. So if you, even if you don't remember,
But
at least you have
in
to
that.
remember the navigation, and from here you can get the table names, right?
Okay. But in the real time, we do have all the detailed document about what we want to perform, right? Maximum for the maximum time.
You have a requirement document. You'll have a requirement
Yes.
document, but technically you
According
have
to that, we need to perform.
technically you may not,
Okay.
that is our technical developer stuff to get the table name, get the query, right? That we have to do.
Okay. Okay.
So now we know the table name of functions, menus, and responsibilities. Now what we do is we'll create a responsibility now. For this user, we'll create a responsibility. X6CV. So see here, to create a responsibility, just Control L, type responsibility.
Okay.
You can see again, or you can do it this way, security, responsibility,
Use.
define. X6CV underscore RESP. And it is asking application name, right? So now I don't have any application. I'll just mention application object library.
Okay.
I'll mention this key data group. Just go with the standard. Again, the same application name. Now here we have to mention the menu. This is where the menu comes into picture. See, until unless you have this understanding, you cannot know what is responsibility, what is menu and function. This is just a AOL module understanding.
Okay.
Now we have assigned a menu to a responsibility, right?
Yes.
And now take the responsibility name and assign to the user.
Okay. So,
That's it. Okay. Now
okay.
let's log out and log in with the user.
See, see.
Okay. If you're logging for the first time, it will ask you to reset the password.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
Now you
Yes.
should see OAS page and EMP page,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
This is Oracle form. This is a custom form which I have designed.
Okay. Okay. Clear.
Okay. So that's our AOL
So
module.
first we
Yeah.
need to create the user.
Yeah.
Then menu.
You have to have a function.
Menu.
Without having function, you cannot create a menu.
Okay. We don't want a function, but we here we
Yeah,
use
just
like already
existing.
predefined
Yeah.
functions.
Yeah. That's how
By
you
using
try to
that,
do
we
this. Yeah.
created the menus
Yeah.
and we assign the menus to the responsibilities.
Yes.
And then it is the responsibility of the user. Okay.
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 So that's all for today. Like we just had a clarity on the AOL module and application information and the database and those all those components, right?
Okay.
Just practice this one
Uh,
and find
I will
and then
practice
yeah,
reports and this one.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Then today, like I already transferred like 10,000 from here.